The minute he said biopsy, I think that's when our world started shattering. We didn't ever think it was going to be cancer. That's just when our world kind of shattered and broke and fell apart. You would expect, okay, someone who's going to be diagnosed with cancer, there's some symptoms. There was just absolutely nothing. I remember when we broke it to him. Sorry. So his first question was like, am I going to die? His cancer was so rare. There's only been a handful of cases ever in history. I think I was glued to Google and just researching about it day and night. I think I'd been on a journey to become a better person, a better Muslim, to become more knowledgeable in my religion. And because I'd been on that journey, alhamdulillah, I think I was able to get through this. So, alhamdulillah, I'm a mom of 3 boys, and I grew up in the States, went to university in Canada, and then have been here ever since I got married, or after university. I was working in media and then many startups. And a few years ago, I decided to kind of, it wasn't just doing anything for me anymore, and I wanted to do something more fulfilling. So I came across Islamic psychology, Islamic counseling, psychotherapy. And I thought, okay, this is the path I want to kind of like move forward on. So I started studying that, taking some courses, and it was after I think I completed level 1 is when my son got diagnosed. So everything kind of took a back burner, and then we started focusing on him. So initially, the first time, he basically was diagnosed with embryonal rhabdomyosarcoma. It was April. And he was sitting in the front seat of the car, and he turned around, and I noticed like the little pink part of your eye, I saw it a little extended. If he was speaking to me, like facing me, I wouldn't have noticed it. It was just because he turned and I saw it. So I initially asked a friend of mine, she's a doctor, and she's like, it's probably allergies, it's probably irritated. So we didn't think much of it. Anyways, 2 weeks went by and it didn't go away. So I took him to the doctor, and he's like, oh, it's just pterygium. Don't worry, here are these drops, put them, it'll go away. So again, no concern. Continued the drops, went to Canada, it was summer holiday. Again, there was just there were no symptoms. It's not like there was nausea or headache or dizziness or anything in his immunity. He was just a normal kid. It didn't go away, so I took him to just a walk-in GP there, and she's like, no, I don't think it's pterygium, but I don't know what it is. Again, no sense of urgency. She's like, why don't I suggest you take him to a pediatric ophthalmologist. And, we got a referral for September in Canada, and we were meant to come back to Pakistan. So I said, okay, it's all right, there's no sense of urgency, I'll come back to Pakistan. So came here and took him to the ophthalmologist, and he said, no, this is not pterygium, but I don't know what it is. Let me just have it surgically removed and sent for biopsy. The minute he said biopsy, I think that's when our world started shattering. And we were like, what do you mean biopsy? So he did. He had it surgically removed. A couple days later, he sent it for biopsy. The first biopsy was very ambiguous. There was no clarity, and they said, further tests are required. So we picked it up from that hospital and we sent it to another hospital, AKU, and we did a second biopsy. And that's when we found out that it was embryonal rhabdomyosarcoma. And so it was a shock for us because there were no symptoms. It was just a little growth in his eye that most people would never have noticed anyways. You would expect, okay, someone who's going to be diagnosed with cancer, there's some symptoms. There was just absolutely nothing. April was when I first noticed it, and August is when he was diagnosed. So many months went by without, creating any issue. So it wasn't, we didn't ever think it was going to be cancer. That's just when our world kind of shattered and broke and fell apart. We didn't know what to do. We were just so shocked. I mean, between the first biopsy and the second biopsy, I think there was 10, 12 days. So in that period, we were kind of like in a limbo. So already we were just on edge, praying day and night, that please God, let this just, not be anything. Because in that first report, it was like, there's frequent mitosis. Frequent mitosis is usually associated with cancer. But again, it said further histo, immuno testing is required. So we weren't sure. So we were just praying day and night that it was not cancer, but I think once we were told it was just praying that it was a misdiagnosis. Please let it be a misdiagnosis. Going back to the hospital and be like, are you sure you got it correct? Are you sure? How can this be? And then accepting it. And we were straight up with him. We shared every single thing with him. It was so important for us that he knew what was going on. We didn't want to lie to him or fabricate stories. I don't think he knows the gravity of the situation. I don't think, because we never made it a huge deal. I remember when we broke it to him. Sorry. And we told him, Isa, you've been diagnosed with cancer. And his first response, he just broke down because he didn't know of anybody except for his principal who had cancer. And his principal, just the year before, like 6 months before, had passed away. So his first question was like, am I gonna die? And we're like, no, absolutely not. There's different stages, there's different types of cancers. You're gonna be absolutely fine. And then from then on, it was just like fight mode and let's take this on and let's not, we're gonna be fine, we're gonna deal with it, we're gonna handle it, and it's life is gonna go on as normal. I mean, alhamdulillah, I was so grateful that I'd never really dealt with it before. So I have to say I was oblivious to much of it as well, right? So when I remember we were told that, you have to get MRI, CT scan, bone scan. We have to find out what stage, we have to do staging. And my first question was, what is staging? What does it mean, staging? So I was oblivious. So I think it took time to grapple with it. And then we just, of course, Google, went into a pigeonhole, Googling everything, especially because his cancer was so rare. There's only been a handful of cases ever in history with his particular type of cancer. So everyone we spoke to, whether locally or in hospitals abroad, the best hospitals abroad, pediatric hospitals abroad, oncologists, no one had ever come across his particular cancer. So it was just like, I think I was glued to Google and just researching about it day and night. Just so I also wanted to be aware. I wanted to go into every appointment well aware so I could ask the most pertinent questions. I think it's very important for parents to be knowledgeable and then trust the doctors as well, but not to be ignorant and to go in well equipped. Because at the end of the day, it's your child and no one's going to look out for your child better than you. When they say it takes a village, it takes a village. Friends, family, everybody came together to help us. I mean, I had friends picking up my child and taking him to school, my other kids bringing them home, my family, everybody from most of my family lives abroad. They all came in to help. My husband's sister came in to help. So there's just no way you can do it on your own. I think you need to focus on your child, but you have other children, you have a house, you need emotional support, mental support, and it really takes a village. Everybody came together. So it was friends, family, and I would say divine strength that got us through this. I think I'd been on a journey to become a better person, a better Muslim, to become more knowledgeable in my religion. And because I'd been on that journey, alhamdulillah, I think I was able to get through this. No matter what situation you're in, how dire the situation is, you're going to take a moment and you're going to ask yourself, what are you grateful for in this moment? Count your blessings. And honestly, the countless number of times we were in ER, every single time I would have to be okay, What am I grateful for? Like he's in a hospital, he has a bed, he has the best medical care. Like, how can I not be grateful, right? How can I not look at the positivity in each scenario, in each situation I'm in? God he's steering the wheel. I'm just a passenger. He's the best of planners. He knows why, and he will only do what's best for me. So that's truly where I got my strength. Had I not had faith, I think I would have crumbled and fallen apart.